Hey everybody, it's Pete Cussman here with a Positive Vibes show from Project Positive Change. I'm really excited today. I have back again Fiona Robertson, one of our visionaries from Project Positive Change. We're going to be talking about something that I think is very near and dear to all of us, especially me, and that's really finding peace with food. I think we're going to be talking about emotions and stress and how that makes you possibly eat different. So I'm not going to speak for Fiona. I'm going to ask Fiona, how you doing, Fiona? You doing good today?
I'm doing good today. I could eat for stress.
Oh, yes. And it's interesting because right now I am on a diet. I usually default back to Weight Watchers and being successful about it, but it is realigning for me that relationship I have with food. I think you're going to do a little meditation and stuff for us today, aren't you?
I'm going to do a little meditation for you today because basically when anybody wants to lose weight, we only ever look at the food. And basically I talk a lot about emotional eating and basically why we're using food in the first place to substitute love or substitute adventure or substitute feeling safe or substitute feeling something else. So basically a lot of the work that I do helps you find what it is that's missing and not just go to the food. It's an avoidance, it's a quick fix, but it doesn't last for long and it does have repercussions. So if we could find what it is that you want instead, then I think it works far better rather than just trying to just go on a diet every time we've just put on a little bit too much weight. Most of us have a size or a weight that we kind of go to here and no further. But at some point, there's something in the body called leptin. And sometimes leptin doesn't work and it doesn't stop you eating. So you carry on eating after you're already full. So that's just how your body works. And after a while, it just gets sort of like overused and then it just gets lazy and stops working, a bit like your thyroid. So the programs that I do help you reset that so that you actually start using the fat that you've stored and stop your body storing the fat in the first place. So otherwise we are constantly having to go off the diet, emotionally eat, diet, starve ourselves, feel flipping miserable. And and then we're like, oh great, I feel great again. My body's good. Okay, well I'll just eat and drink myself happy.
Is it sometimes when we feel like we need to eat, is it because there's certain nutrients that the body is craving and we're just not giving it to the body?
Yeah. How do I put this without getting too kind of graphical? I have detoxed people for like 12 years. And basically that means that I help them reset their digestive system, their colon. Basically most illnesses and things to do with the body start in the colon. You've got all these little points along the colon and the digestive system, a bit like you've got the reflex points in your hand, you've got reflex points in your ear, reflex points in your feet, you have them in your colon as well. And just for information, it's about the second organ that grows in a fetus. The first one would be the heart and the second one would be a colon. So it's major, but people never really consider it. So basically talking about absorbing what you're eating, if you're missing nutrients, all the way along the digestive tract, there are certain points that the body will absorb minerals and absorb vitamins. And if that's blocked by what we call mucoid plaque, and basically that's when the body creates a lot of mucus like we have in our nose for lubrication, it goes through the digestive tract and it dries onto the edge of the wall, then the nutrients can't pass through so that they can be absorbed. What happens there is our body then starts to crave certain nutrients, but it's not like it goes, pa-ting, we need magnesium, pa-ting, we need potassium. It starts craving certain foods that it knows that it's in, but sometimes if we're not very adept at kind of understanding what our body needs, we can overeat on other things. I told the story before about boiled egg and toasted soldiers, which was to do with my soul needed food, it needed support, but I've also had my body craving seaweed because of all the iodine in seaweed, and my thyroid needed a bit of a boost and all those kind of things. So your body will crave things, and it's a question of listening to your body. and to listen to the subtle, and they are subtle messages that come from the body. And when they get a little bit too far, they become crazy cravings. Cravings is a big subject. I could talk about cravings a lot, because our bodies send us messages about thirst, and they send us messages about hunger, and they send us messages about the minerals, the salts or whatever. And I used to crave crisps. Was one of my things, and it was a lot of the salts that I was missing. And as soon as I started sort of going on to more of the vegetables, juicing vegetables or eating some vegetables and things, I got all the minerals, the salts that I needed from the vegetables, and so my cravings for the crisps disappeared. Although I also used to use crisps as a treat, because I thought I deserved more, and I was neglecting my needs, and I used to think that crisps was one of the things that, well, I deserve something, and they were quick to disappear, and nobody really knew that I'd had them.
Plus, it's got that.
Everybody has a go-to food that makes them feel good. It's like either a treat, or I deserve more, or, you know, and I get people to understand, what is it that you're saying to yourself when you choose the chocolate, or you choose the wine, or you choose the cheese, or you choose the crisps or whatever. And it's a lovely little thing that we do, is like, you know, you push that away until your inner child comes up, just, but I want it, screaming and kicking and all the rest of it. And then you find out what you're actually really, really saying to yourself, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah. So yeah, and I think a lot of people are really just kind of stress eating like that. I love all the foods you just really mentioned. Those are all the ones my inner child's usually screaming for.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. And you know what? I mean, when you become really adept at this, you know, there's no food that's a sin. It's only what you think about it. But that's you know, quite far off until you can change that particular mindset and you know, talk to your body and what you consciously eat, you know, until you can actually sort of think, it's okay, I'll have that piece of cake, or I'll have that chocolate. But that's when the point when you eat in moderation and you thoroughly enjoy that food for what it is. And it's an orgasmic experience to have that piece of cheese or that cake. And then you kind of go, oh, one bite was enough. But before you consciously eat, it's like, oh my God, I'm not satisfied. I need more and more and more. And that's where most people fall into, because we haven't become very sensitive to what the body's
and I think it's about buying the quality foods too, isn't it? Because I was dating someone for a very short period of time, and they pulled out a piece of cheese, and they pulled out this little tiny sliver of it. And I'm used to, like, you know, get the big old hunk, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was so flavorful that it just took that one little piece to really, you know, satisfy that craving, you know, because I especially here in America, maybe over there, you know, it's about volume. It's about, you know what I mean? And you don't just have like one slice of cheese, you have like a whole hunk of it, or you have a whole bag of chips or crisps, as you would call them, or whatever.
Yeah. That's really interesting, because I moved to France 12 years ago, and my boyfriend now, my partner who I'm living with, he's French. And I've really been kind of had my eyes opened to a different culture and how they eat. And I know, because I'm British, we follow America quite a lot, so everything's got bigger and bigger and bigger and, you know, gigantic. And whereas the French are very much sort of gourmandise, you know, and they will just have a sliver of something, and the ladies will only drink like a little glass of wine, whereas in England it would be like 2 bottles. And I've had my eyes open to sort of, you know, how French culture does things in a very different way. They sit for a long time and they digest their food, and they really honor their food. And the whole time, I think there was a chart that showed that the French sit down to enjoy their food, you know, probably the longest of any culture, any nation, that they sit and they really appreciate time together at the table. And it's getting your head in a different place to sit at the table and have food. Whereas I know maybe in America, some families, and a lot of families in England, they sit and they watch TV. The kids eat separately from the parents. The mother eats differently to the father. And it's not a sort of a very social event. It's just kind of like, okay, food. And then, okay, get on and do something else. You move up and you move on. And then your body hasn't even registered that you've eaten.
Right.
It's like, where's my food?
And the other thing that blows my mind, especially about our eating, is that everything is all beige and brown. You know what I mean?
I laughed. There was, I've just moved house, so I've thrown a lot of books away, and I found an old vegetarian book that I had. And, you know, the way they photographed the food was very different to how they photograph food now. And every single bowl was the same color. The dish in the bowl, where it was lentils or pasta or whole grain this or bread or whatever, it was all beige. Like, so you just saying that made me laugh, because it was just like, God, yeah, that's just not appetizing.
Right.
Yeah, and it was just like, yeah, God, no, that's just not appetizing. Whereas now the photographs for, you know, some of the nicer food brochures and things would be taken very, very differently.
You know, it's interesting how when you look at sweets and pastries and cakes, especially in America, you'll see they're very colorful. Like they're bringing the color back into those things, trying to probably entice that inner mind that's looking for those, you know, that variety, right? And it's all just sugar and fat, right?
Those blueberry muffins, they're not really blueberries at all.
Right. See, that's what I'm saying.
They're toxic bubbles of something.
So how do we reset our relationship with food and not do it as a stress reliever, but more as a way to sustain ourselves and to really, you know, help our bodies?
Yeah, one thing I've noticed when I'm in France, and this is what I teach as well, is really slowing down. Really slowing down. And I don't just mean when you're at the table and eating. It's just with everything. I mean, I was really amazed. Another thing about the French culture is everything shuts at 12 o'clock until 2 o'clock. Wow. I mean, everybody goes home for lunch. It's like the real siesta time, and, you know, you honor your food and you go home and you digest it and you have a little resty after, and then you go back to work. And I know in Spain, it's even, you know, they start work really early in the morning because of the heat, and then they stop at about 11, and then they don't go back and work until 4, and then they work until 8. So, you know, cultures are different. But slow down. And one of the things that I teach, and with the Peace with Food that I teach, is, one, eat slowly. And I have, when people come to the detox retreat, I don't think I've got one here, but it's like a little egg timer. So you turn the egg timer over, you know, for maybe every forkful. I mean, this is like extreme, but just slow down. And if you slow down, you'll taste the food, and you'll probably decide that maybe you don't like it, or you've had enough. I mean, it takes quite a while for your stomach to actually register that it's full. You know, and if you want your hormones to be telling you that it's full, you have to listen. So I teach very much about the Peace with Food is teaching you how to listen to your body. Not only do I teach about the nutrition that's right for your body type, it's like changing from a car that took petrol to diesel, or from solar or something like that, or electricity. They have these electricity cars now. So you have to teach your body how to use different enzymes and how to break the food down that you're having differently, so that you're using different fuel. If you continue to just use sugar for fuel, some people's bodies don't work like that at all. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you want to lose weight, you have to know what fuel works best for your vehicle. Some people will never lose weight because they never decide to do that. You have to know what your body code is, for example. That's how I work. But slowing down allows you to, one, taste your food, appreciate your food, and actually feel what it feels like even after you've eaten. You know, sometimes you eat something and you think, if I eat any more, it's actually going to take energy away from me rather than give me energy. It's not that when you eat more, you get more energy. At some point, it's just like, you know what? You get to understand that if I eat more, I'm going to be more tired, because my body really has to work hard to digest this food. And if you've been talking like most of us do when we're eating, we're not chewing properly. We're not digesting the food properly. And if you're emotional at all when you're eating, your digestion is shut down and the doors close and nothing is being digested. 85% of your energy is to digest your food.
Wow.
85%. And no wonder, not just because of the wheat and everything after we've eaten, do we feel exhausted, but because our bodies were having to work so hard. Because we're still mentally thinking and we're frantic and we're organizing and we're running before we've digested our food. And our body's going, whoa, stop. You know the time in the afternoon when you've had lunch and you're just like, I just need to sleep. I could just roll up on that back seat of that car and I could just sleep for a couple of hours. That's your body telling you that he needs rest to do its job. And it's in the rest. If you never rest, the body can never lose the weight, because it's only in the rest time that it allows it to open up and release. That's why sleep is so important as well.
Wow. I mean, that's even just kind of like even in weight training, you know, it's not during the actual working out that you gain the muscle, it's in the rest afterwards. I love that.
That's when the body does the work, when it's rested, when it doesn't have to do anything else. It's not a multitasker. It can only do one thing at a time. It's like, okay, yeah. It's in the rest time that the growth hormone works. That's when the growth hormone works. When you're sleeping, when you're resting, when you've had good quality meditation, depending how long, but I mean, it gives you into those delta waves and your body just goes, oh, okay, do what you need to do. It's resting.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. Just like kind of let the body take over and do what it knows it needs to do, right?
It needs to do it. It doesn't need you interfering with doing that. Okay, now we're going to chew this up and now we're going to dissolve this and now we're going to absorb this. No, it doesn't. Your body is way more intelligent than you. It's got more neurons. It's got more connectors in your gut and in your stomach. Gut instinct, for example. It's got way more than your brain.
Wow. So now how do we change our relationship with food? Like, I mean, do we have to like forgive food or do we have to, you know what I mean? Because it's almost like we hold all this energy about food and about how it portrays to us. I mean, what's the proper way to have a great relationship with food? You know what I mean?
A great relationship with food. I mean, yeah, basically, I teach you how to eat again and have a great relationship with food and your body and therefore your life. It is a relationship. It's like with anything. It's a relationship with your body, a relationship with your food. And it's understanding what's influencing you and affecting you at any one time. So, for example, if you have dinner this evening or this afternoon, because I know it's morning for you, and you could just say to your body, if you could talk to your body, which is what I teach as well, like, what would I most want to eat right now? And then the more you ask and the more you listen, you're kind of going, oh God, yeah, that would be awesome. Oh, that would be, yeah, amazing. I'd make that. And then you make that and it'd be like, oh, hell, that was just the most amazing meal ever. And that was just enough. I don't need anything else. That is when you can walk into the kitchen and it's not just you open the fridge and, oh God, I've got to finish that up for yesterday. All right, fine, I'll eat that. There's a different energy behind that altogether. And I know I don't want to cook every single day. Sometimes I just want to take something really simple and I don't want to have to do it with anything else or mix it or match it or cook for anybody else. I just want something really, really simple. And that's what tastes best to me. And sometimes I don't want to eat with anyone else either. Because it's just, oh God, no, there's just too much going on and too much noise and too much going on, too much hectic. Do you know what? I just want to eat nothing or just have a picnic and just eat on my own.
Hmm.
That's, you know, that's when you are in tune with your body and you're not mentally, look at all the diets, look at all the information we're ever fed about food and eating and the importance of protein and the importance of carbohydrates and the importance of fat and the importance of everything. It's like, oh, forget all of that. Your body knows best once you can tune into it. So what I'm going to teach you now is the very, very basic structure of getting out of your head about everything.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you do this with your diet. I mean, so many people go on diets and they absolutely detest the food that they're eating, but they're only doing it because they want to lose the weight, but they're not necessarily able to sustain that for a long period of time.
Mm.
So what I'm going to do now with you very, very quickly, I'll take you through the first few steps on my Peace with Food program, is just how you do this and you keep this practice going so that you have a reconnection with your body. So we take you out of your head and we take you into your body so that you know what you feel like. For example, where I'm going to stop today is basically, what's your stress level? Because you should not be eating if you're stressed, if you're emotional. I did a retreat about 2 years ago now, and we called it Fun with Food. And basically we had people doing all sorts of different things around food. So we ate on the floor, like a picnic style, and we ate with like really emotional music, and people came from all different cultures. And I noticed when I heard certain music that was very emotional to me, it wasn't just when I was angry or emotional, but it's like, oh, I didn't want to eat. Your emotions, you know, they shut your digestion down, you know, because so much else going on.
Hmm.
And eating in silence, you know, all these things, you know, you need to experiment and just see what suits you best. So I'm going to take you now very, very quickly, very simply, into a state when you're actually in your body and you're not thinking, you're not busy in your head. Happy to do that?
I'm very excited. I'm grabbing one of my favorite gyms.
All right, it shouldn't take very long. But so basically, we just want to be able to sit very comfortably, or you can do this when you're lying down as well. And it's a practice every day just to reconnect in with your body. So you can have your hands on the desk or on your lap, however is comfortable for you. And your feet can be on the floor. And as soon as you shut your eyes down, you're almost more inside your body anyway, apart from all the thoughts and everything pinging away like 10 to the dozen in your head. But as soon as your eyes open, you're distracted and you're looking and you're comparing and you're observing and have opinions about things. So your eyes work better if they're closed. So with a couple of deep breaths, I just want you to feel the air coming in and the air going out. And see if you can just find that split-second turning point where the air turns. That split second where you make the decision to breathe in and take air in, and then the split second you make the decision and you let the air out. It's you that makes that split second, so you can just tune in with that. You can even imagine it if you can't actually get there. You can feel your body relaxing just a little bit more. And tune in with your heartbeat. If you can't feel your heart beating in your chest, don't worry. Just imagine it. You know that it's in there. Or take your pulse. You can feel your pulse with your fingers on your wrist. That's how subtle your body is. Just being able to tune into some of the actions that it does every single day for you. Breathing. And your heart pumping. Just be aware of your feet, your legs, your knees, where you're sitting, your hips and your pelvis, coming up your spine, up to your shoulders, relaxing and letting everything just go a little bit further. Feeling your stomach melting a little bit, dropping your shoulders another inch, relaxing your forearms, your arms and your hands. If there's any grip in your hands, just let them fold open. Up the back of your neck, up the back of your head, and down your face. Nobody's watching, so you don't need an expression on your face. You don't need to look handsome or pretty or happy or whatever. Just relax your face. Relax your eyes in the sockets, your jaw, and your tongue in your mouth. Being aware of your breathing. Being aware of your heartbeat. And now, all the thoughts in your head, all the thousands of thoughts that happen every single minute, every single second, just watch them like a graphic equalizer as they just all pop up like fireworks, and put them all in a big bubble that you can see through. And when the next big out breath, just blow that bubble down until it's level with your nose. In that bubble are all your thoughts, your memories, your beliefs, your consciousness, your awareness. And the next big bubble, just bring that bubble, next big breath, just bring that bubble down through your face a little bit further until it's level with your chin and your throat. And the next big bubble, next big breath, bring that bubble down to your chest so that your thoughts, your awareness, your consciousness is in your body. So if you looked out at the world, you would look out the world from the level of your body, from the level of your heart. You'll be looking out to the world. Above that, there is nothing. There is nothing going on in your head. All your consciousness, awareness, beliefs, thoughts, memories, they're all in your body. Just dropping your shoulders just another level. Could you relax any more? And today I want you to just feel what it feels like if you were to know what stress level you are at right now. Maybe you have a number in your head between 1 and 10. Maybe you have an idea where you are on your stress level. 0 being no stress whatsoever. And 10 being emergency state, survival state. Oh my God. So I want you to bring yourself down as far as you can, down to your lowest level of stress, your very, very relaxed place. See yourself walking down a hill, walking down some steps, and feel your body just slow down and relax a little bit more, until you reach a place where you feel relaxed and safe. Feel what it feels like in your body. Feel your stomach relax. Feel your heart beating. Feel your breath change. And in a minute, I'm going to walk you up to your emergency level 10. And I want you to feel what it feels like in your body so that you are aware of how your body reacts when you are in a stressful mode. And when you know you're 0, and when you know you're 10, then you can gauge your stress wherever you are. So sitting or lying or being just in your relaxed place right now, feeling how relaxed your belly is, how your shoulders are dipped. And start walking up towards your level 10, a memory of an emergency state. It could be a row with a partner, it could be really frightened of something, it could be a near miss or an accident that you've had. Just walk towards it and start feeling the difference in your body, how your breathing changes, until you are in a state when you think, right, that is what stress feels like in my body. Notice your breathing change, notice your stomach muscles change, your shoulders, your chest, what's happening in your body. You will talk differently, you will move differently when you're in this particular zone. You won't stay here long, I just want you to be aware of what happens in your body. Okay, with a big breath, you can turn around, put your back against the emergency state and start walking down the hill again into your safe and your relaxed place. If you want, you can slide down the banisters and just slide back into your safe place. Feel your body change, feel your breathing change, feel the pace of life change. Just breathe that in, breathe how relaxed you are. And in a minute we can come back, and when you come back, you'll feel wide awake and you feel ready to take on the world, knowing what your safe place feels like. So when you're ready, slowly open your eyes and be back in today.
I noticed how my face changed.
What changed?
My face, I could feel like the muscles in my face change. Like, I didn't realize how I was holding it. You know what I mean? When we took it up to the high stress level until we slid back down the hill, and then I could just like feel like all the muscles, especially like right around here.
Yeah.
And just kind of like release.
Yeah.
And even my fingers, because I was holding my gem the whole time, but even my fingers were gripping it tighter,
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing how much pressure we hold in our jaw.
Yes.
And the more you do it, the more you realize what goes on. I remember having a situation, and I had my lips kind of like that, and I went, why are my lips like that? I was stressed, and you don't realize what you do. I mean, obviously your shoulders come up by your ears, and your stomach and everything sort of clenches, and your breath becomes shorter, and things become a little bit clipped as you go into your stress place. But it's really interesting to do when you're in a supermarket, standing in line in a post office, getting in your car, going to work. When you're eating, the whole point I do this is because when you sit down to eat, if you're in any kind of stress, your digestion shuts down.
So this is something you can do pretty much any time, and especially right before you're about to eat, right?
Anytime, and especially before you start speaking to your partner or your children or employees, or yeah.
I love it. Well, Fiona, that was amazing.
From there,
So that was just amazing.
And from there, I take you to really get to know your safe place, so that you can go to a safe place in an instant. You can turn things around 180 degrees.
It was interesting while you were talking about stress levels. I saw like a dial, and I could see like a hand turning the dial and turning it back. It was very interesting while you were talking.
It's your choice how stressed you get at any point.
Right.
And if you choose not to be stressed, you won't feel that you deserve the extra food or whatever it is. And if you could stand in front of the buffet table or whatever it is, and only choose the food that really, really pleases you, because you're fulfilled in every other single way, you wouldn't be looking for the foods to fulfill you. You'd only be looking for the food that you found absolutely delectable. It's just a change of perception about how you feel in your body, and knowing how you feel. Okay, I talk about it towards food, but it's towards everything. How you are with one thing, you are with everything. So you could easily change that.
As above, so below. Yep.
Yeah,
I love it.
Micro, macro. Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
No, that was what I wanted to show you today. And then, of course, after that, I teach you how to get your yes and your no from your body. It could be a sway, but it's a feeling that you get. So you can ask your body at any time, to do with food or people or whatever, what's influencing you and what's affecting you. And then after that, we start communicating with the body.
That's powerful. That's powerful stuff. Well, it sounds like we need to do a couple more shows then, Fiona.
Okay. I love doing it because it slows me down too. It's like, oh, yeah, okay.
Right. So how can people get in contact with you? I mean, you talked a lot about your retreats. I'm sure those people would love to know how to get into one of your retreats or get some more of your material.
Yeah, I do one-to-one personal retreats. I call them detox retreats because we're detoxing the whole world as well as just detoxing our digestive system. And my website is fionarobertson.co. And I do coaching for helping people with emotional eating, stress, and helping them finding their body code, their nutrition, what kind of fuel their body runs off best. And if stress is influencing you, then we find out what triggers you, how we can neutralize that and reset your hormones, reset your digestion, all within normally 3 to 6 months. We can get a real headway to try and find a good way to sort of help you operate on a better level as to how you want to be your future self. How you want to go on from here. So, you have a vision of your future self and how you would operate as that person. And that's what we're working towards.
That's powerful. I love that. Well, this has been the Positive Vibe Show with Pete Kossabun with my amazing friend and visionary, Fiona Robertson from France. And I think it's just been phenomenal. I invite everybody to contact Fiona and to see what kind of program she has and maybe come to one of her retreats. We appreciate everybody checking in today. We'll talk to you soon.